Never do human beings speculate more or have more opinions than about things which they do not understand. Imagine seeing the world's blueprint shimmer beneath reality's surface, visions you can't dismiss, coincidences that burn with purpose. Carl Jung did not chase these mysteries. They found him, yellow waves swirling before war, furniture ripping itself apart, uncanny knocks announcing thoughts before they formed. What if your life's most profound moments weren't random accidents, but secret messages from an unseen realm? Stay with me. Tonight you'll journey through synchronicity, the language of the soul speaking in patterns, portents, and impossible alignments. By the end, you'll never see coincidence the same way again. Long before his name became synonymous with the human psyche's hidden depths, Jung was a boy haunted by dreams. He saw yellow waves, swimming rubble, and the death of countless thousands. A vision so vivid, so violent, he feared madness. Yet 2 weeks later, the First World War erupted, just as he had foreseen. At 17, Jung realized these were not hallucinations. They were messages from beneath the surface of consciousness. Whispers from the collective wellspring of human fate. Look at it, it is completely real and it will come to pass. You cannot doubt this. That voice in his mind was no echo of schizophrenia. It was an invitation to explore the places where mind and matter entwine. One summer holiday, Jung studied alone in his childhood home when a pistol-like crack pierced the silence. He raced to the parlor. The solid oak table had split, the crack running from rim to center. 2 weeks later, another shot, this time from inside the kitchen cupboard. A bread knife, freshly used, lay in shattered pieces on the floor. No storm, no intruder, only Jung, standing in the debris, wondering if reality itself was fracturing around him. These were not mere poltergeist pranks. They were synchronicities, meaningful collisions of inner tension and outer event. Jung sensed a law beyond physics, one that matched the rhythms of the mind with the beat of the cosmos. By 1902, Jung became a doctor of the psyche, but he refused to dismiss the paranormal. He attended seances. He studied occult manuscripts. His dissertation, on the psychology and pathology of so-called occult phenomena. Sigmund Freud scoffed at these pursuits. One afternoon, as Freud and Jung debated materialism, Jung felt his diaphragm red hot, an inner alarm bell. Seconds later, a thunderous crash in the bookcase beside them. Jung calmly predicted a second blast. And it came. Freud stared in disbelief. Jung called it catalytic exteriorization. Freud called it bosh. But neither could deny that something had linked mind and matter in that instant. In 1928, Jung was painting mandalas, sacred circles embodying the self, when a package arrived from his friend Richard Wilhelm. Inside, The Secret of the Golden Flower, an ancient Taoist manual on inner alchemy. Jung saw a mandala in those pages, a golden castle fortress guarding the immortal core of the soul. Under his painting he jotted, "The spark leapt across and kindled a light, one of the most significant events of my life." Wilhelm's translation fused Eastern and Western mysticism, steering Jung toward the alchemical symbolism that would define his later years. He realized mandalas and synchronicities were two halves of the same coin, visual and experiential gateways to the hidden self. In 1930, Jung named the phenomenon synchronicity, the coincidence of events in space and time, as meaning something more than mere chance. He saw parallels in Taoist yin-yang, in the alchemical axiom as above, so below. Synchronicity is the universe's Morse code, pulses of inner image and outer occurrence aligning in perfect, uncanny unison. It's not causality, it's meaning. Causality. A cue strikes a billiard ball, it rolls. Synchronicity. A dream shows you a fish, and later a fish lands at your feet. One is physics, the other is purpose. For Jung, the path to wholeness was circular, not linear. Individuation, becoming your true self, doesn't march forward, it circles around a center. Mandalas map this journey, the sun at the heart, the castle walls, the golden flower unfolding. Each symbol is an invitation to synchronic experiences, events that mirror the psyche's quest for unity. In Jung's last great work, Mysterium Conjunctionis, he described the alchemical marriage, the sacred union of opposites within. Synchronistic encounters are the signposts along that spiral road, guiding you toward inner marriage with the cosmos. Jung didn't just theorize, he used the I Ching, the ancient book of changes, as a living tool in therapy. Once a patient struggled with her mother complex, fearing domination. Jung cast the I Ching. Hexagram 44, coming to meet, warned, "The maiden is powerful. One should not marry such a maiden." The patient found uncanny resonance in those words. Jung saw it as proof, a text written millennia ago, accessed through a random coin toss, could tap the patient's unconscious with razor-sharp precision. That is synchronicity, a meaningful bridge between your soul's pattern and the world's unfolding. When Nobel physicist Wolfgang Pauli sought Jung's counsel, their collaboration shattered academic walls. Pauli's quantum experiments hinted at non-local connections, particles entangled across space. Jung's synchronicity offered a psychoid counterpart, the psyche's archetypes imprinting patterns onto matter. In 1952, their joint volume, The Interpretation of Nature and the Psyche, laid bare a radical vision: mind and matter emerge from the same ground. The unus mundus, the one world. This Acausal connecting principle became a cornerstone of modern depth psychology and quantum mysticism alike. Beyond anecdotes, Jung pointed to experiments by J.B. Rhine, the father of parapsychology. In one test, subjects guessed symbols on cards behind screens. Statistically, 5 correct guesses out of 25 was chance. One young man averaged 10 hits per 25, and once nailed all 25 symbols in a row. A 1 in 298 quadrillion event. Numbers this impossible forced a reckoning. The mind can reach non-causally into the field of probability. Synchronicity is the living proof that reality's deck is stacked with hidden meaning. Synchronic events aren't random, they rest on archetypal foundations, universal blueprints of the human spirit. An archetype is psychoid, neither purely mental nor purely material, but the bridging matrix that shapes both psyche and cosmos. When archetypes stir within, dreams of fish, visions of bull gods, they ripple outward, synchronizing with external symbols. In that ripple, inner and outer merge. You see a fish at lunch because you dreamt of fish. You encounter a bull god motif because your soul is circling its power. This is the mystery of the unus mundus, the dimension where psyche and matter collide in sacred synchronistic dance. Jung loved synchronicity's fairy tales. One from the 19th century French poet Émile Deschamps received plum pudding from Monsieur de Forgibou. 10 years later, he ordered plum pudding in a Parisian restaurant, and the server was de Forgibou. Deschamps remarked on the coincidence and laughed until the man actually arrived, lost in the crowd. More modern Jung, noting a half-man, half-fish symbol, saw fish at lunch, fish in embroidery, fish in a patient's dream, and that evening found a real fish on his lakeside path. Coincidence? Or synchronistic sign that psychic and material worlds are singing the same song? Beware synchronicity can be misread as delusion. Schizophrenics often see every event as personally directed, an ego-driven hallucination, not a guiding pattern. Jung warned, if you force meaning onto every random event, you become captive to your own constructs. True synchronicity emerges. It cannot be conjured. It is a gift, not a trick. Learn to discern. Watch for moments when inner image and outer phenomenon feel pregnant with meaning. Then let them breathe. To welcome these uncanny alignments, cultivate one's stillness, carve out silent space for unconscious signals. 2. Witnessing. Note dreams, visions, gut sensations. 3. Symbol journaling. Sketch your personal mandala. What icons, shapes, or images recur. 4. Ritual. Use I Ching, tarot, or contemplative practice as oracle. 5. Openness. Stay curious when coincidences ripple through your day. Each synchronistic pulse is a whisper from your deeper self. The psyche's roadmap to wholeness. If you felt unseen forces guiding your journey, if that uncanny déjà vu still sends chills down your spine, you have glimpsed synchronicity, the universe's secret handshake. This isn't magic. It's nature revealing its hidden face. Each synchronistic moment, a signature of oneness. Carl Jung didn't solve the mystery. He coaxed us to lean in, to track the echoes between mind and matter, to walk the spiral path of individuation, guided by the synchronic patterns that weave our personal myth. So watch your life for those lightning strikes of meaning, the perfect word in someone's mouth, the image you can't unsee, the unstoppable pattern that feels like destiny knocking. Answer the call, step into the dance, let the cosmos align with your soul's blueprint. This is the Thought Alchemist. Thank you so very much for watching.